Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Layla, and for today's video, I'm going to be talking about loud budgeting. So loud budgeting is currently trending, and this all started from TikTok. Now, I am not on TikTok these days, and I know many people in my audience are also not on TikTok, but this has grown, it seems like, pretty rapidly across, all the platforms at this point, and I love it. So I'm actually just going to play the TikTok now that started this all. It came from a guy named Lucas.
Loud budgeting is a new concept I'm introducing for 2024. It's the opposite of quiet luxury. But if you know any rich people, you know that they hate spending money. So it's almost more chic, more stylish, more of a flex. Loud budgeting has the same feeling as sneaking candy into a movie theater. You feel like you got away with something. You feel like you're on an adventure. You feel like you're coming out of the situation winning. It's not, I don't have enough. It's, I don't want to spend. So it's like if your friend texts you, I want to hang out. You say, I don't want to spend gas money on coming to you to hear you talk about your ex for 3 hours. Loud budgeting is about the everyday person, the average Joe. So 2024 is all about loud budgeting, okay? Put that dollar in your pocket. Choose a stock that's going to rock it.
So as you can see, this is all about being more transparent about your finances and just being more outspoken about the things that you want to prioritize in your life. And I guess you can say that I've been loud budgeting through this YouTube channel for years now, but it's really not even about that. Like, this doesn't mean that you need to talk about your finances on social media or on a YouTube channel, anything like that. It's more about prioritizing the things that you want to prioritize and expressing that amongst your peer groups and or family. And this can be challenging because there's always been this stigma around finances. I don't understand it. It's not something that I feel. I find it so strange that people still think it's uncomfortable to talk about money. It's something that obviously I'm very comfortable talking about money. I'm very open just in general, but I'm aware that it makes other people comfortable. So I'll usually try to avoid talking about finances or kind of like read the room, read the person and see if they're even open to me asking a question about their finances, But I absolutely love where this is going because this is going to help eliminate finances as a taboo topic. And what's so interesting is that this has come up multiple times across multiple of my one-on-one clients, and not the term loud budgeting, but just this topic in general of how to handle talking about finances or expressing that you're on a budget to friends and family. So for example, if you have friends in your life, maybe you don't ever talk about finances with these friends, but on a regular basis, they're like, hey, let's go grab brunch, let's go out to dinner, let's go do this, do that, all of which costs a lot of money, especially these days. You may not know their financial situation, like they could be in tons of debt, they could be living paycheck to paycheck, they may be well off, you just don't really know, right? And these are the situations where loud budgeting comes into play. So this would look like, hey, this is really important to me. I have a budget in place because I am trying to pay off debt. I am trying to save to go to school. I'm trying to save for a trip. I really want to prioritize investing over spending right now. Whichever situation applies to you, that is where you would express to your friends that that's what you're trying to accomplish. So, maybe we're just going to do brunch every other month, or I'm not going to be able to do that right now. Would you guys rather come over and do a potluck at my house? Can we grab a coffee and go for a walk instead? That will save, $40. And I think what's important here, and something that I'm not seeing talked about very frequently amongst this loud budgeting, is two things. So the first thing is that you might lose friendships by being a loud budgeter. If you're friends with somebody who enjoys spending money to get food out or just enjoys spending money in general, and they're not willing to accommodate to what you're asking for or compromise, that sort of thing, like they're not down to just grab the coffee and go for the walk, that person may not be in your life anymore. And it may not be immediately, but it's something that could absolutely happen with time. And I think that's something that is absolutely okay and normal. And that may be upsetting, that is really unfortunate, but ultimately this can be a really positive thing, because if this person in your life is not willing to compromise or at least just be supportive of what you're trying to do with your finances, then they're probably not a good person to have in your life. They may be a bad influence on your life. But on the other side of that, you may have friends or family members where when you start expressing these things about your finances, they're like, oh my God, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I want to work on my finances. Or even it may take some time, but they start to see what you're doing. You're saving money, you're investing, you're paying down debt. And then they start getting interested in that. And they see you as an example, like, oh, hey, could you tell me how you're budgeting? Or what are you doing to save money on this? And that is so powerful and so exciting because now you have this support system and together you can improve your finances as an individual. This trend is so important, and I know that this is a trend, but it's something that I hope does stick around, whatever that may look like, because I think that talking about finances and expressing how you handle your finances should be a normal topic of conversation. And you also shouldn't have to feel bad about not wanting to spend money on something that you don't want to spend money on. And going along with that, something that I keep seeing, like I was watching a news video on YouTube about this, and one of the comments was like, what I'm hearing is, don't do anything that makes you happy and prepare for a future that is uncertain. And that's not what this is about at all. Of course, our futures are uncertain. Like, you may be saving hundreds of dollars every single month and you could die next month, you know? That's just what it is. That's life. But most people will have a future. Most people will see old age, and you have to prepare for that. Like, you don't want to be 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 and beyond and have so much debt and not have anything saved and you can no longer work, and then who knows what could happen. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. What you do now is going to help your future self, even if that's just 5 years from now. But it's also about spending money on the things that you want to prioritize in your life. And this is something I talk about very frequently. Like, even when I was paying down debt, I was primarily paying down my debt, but I still made room for things that were important to me. For example, I was still traveling while I was in debt because I saved up for those things. I knew that I wanted to have those life experiences. I wanted to take the PTO to go and travel because that is important to me, and I'm not going to sacrifice all of my time and money just to focus on my debt. But I was still heavily focused on paying down my debt, and I was able to make progress while still enjoying the things that I wanted to enjoy. Just like Lucas said in his TikTok, it's not about, hey, I can't afford that, or hey, I am broke. You really don't want to have like a negative mindset around this. Even years ago when I started my debt-free journey and stuff, I always tried to avoid saying like, no, I can't do that because I'm broke, or I can't afford that. It was just like, oh, that's not in the budget this month. I'll get to that someday or next month or something like that. With all of this, you don't want it to feel negative. It's more so about, I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend my money on that, and that is okay. And sometimes there are going to be times where you want to do something, but there isn't room in your budget. Or if you do it, like let's say your friends are taking a big trip somewhere. They're going to be flying somewhere and it's like a week-long vacation. And it's something you do want to do. Like, that sounds so fun. It would be a memory. But right now you have piles of debt, or you're living paycheck to paycheck. Like, if you take this trip, it's going to set you back for months. And there's some people who may decide to go on that trip. And if you decide to, then understand that you're making that decision and you may get set back with your finances. But there's some people who will want to take that trip, but don't take it because they are choosing to prioritize their finances. And that is just part of the journey. That is something that I experienced throughout my debt-free journey. There were things that I wanted to spend money on, but I decided not to because it was more important for me to prioritize my money. Nothing about loud budgeting is black and white, and that is the beauty of it. You get to make this what you want to. You get to decide what you want to prioritize. You get to decide how you want to loud budget and express that to your family and friends. And I really hope that this is something that continues, because the more we talk about finances, the more normal it will become and the better off we are. Because so many people hide what they're actually going through and what they're experiencing, and that typically only holds you back. Because when you start speaking out about things, you're going to find people that relate, you're going to find people that want to help you or guide you, whatever the case may be, and this can be so powerful. This is powerful for your finances, but also for you as a person. When you start speaking out about things that you believe in or speaking out about things that are important to you, then you get to feel empowered, you get to feel more confident, and it will make a difference. So I did just want to make a brief video talking about this in case you haven't heard of it. Start budgeting, start learning more about money, start talking about money more, and if there's people in your life who are not comfortable talking about money, feel free to always come to this community because we love talking about it. If there's something that you want to share and there's nobody in your life that you want to share it to, feel free to email me. I get this quite frequently, actually. I have people who reach out to me, email me at contact@debtoverit.com and tell me about your financial wins if you don't want to share it in the comments. But just know that for the most part, everybody in the comments is going to be really supportive. But yeah, if you don't have that in your life, feel free to reach out to me and I will be that person in your life to, be proud of you and push you along, because it is exciting to take control of your finances and make progress on paying down your debt or investing or saving, whatever the case may be. And you absolutely have the right to talk about it and express what you're feeling. Comment down below what y'all think of loud budgeting or how you are loud budgeting in your life. But otherwise, thank y'all so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.